Paul Stillmank grew his previous company, a Salesforce consultancy called 7 Summits, from its founding in 2009 to 200 employees and 5 appearances on the Inc. 5000 list before selling it to IBM in 2021. 2 years later, he's returned to the entrepreneurial journey, launching 7 Rivers, which aims to help businesses transform data into valuable solutions by using AI to help drive strategy and growth. 7 Rivers has already raised $4 million in funding, acquired Texas-based performance management consultancy, Performance G2, in October, and has a strategic partnership with Montana-based data cloud company Snowflake. Please welcome Paul Stillmank.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dan. I thanked Dan earlier because BizTimes shines a light on Milwaukee that few can do, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate over the years, the IQ Awards and getting a chance to stand up and talk to all you. I'm honored. Going last in this set before we get to the big 2 honorees, I might get to do some and maybe the rest didn't. So Adam from Aerospace mentioned the word luck. You can't be an entrepreneur without saying the word luck, because you can work hard, but some things have to work out. Jim from Hydrothermal, I love your 7-step process. I'll just say that with the 7s, right? Standing up here with 7 Summits and 7 Rivers, which I'll talk about in a second. Adrian from Octane Coffee, the energy level of you. I know you're drinking your own product. It's all good. And I'm not surprised you can knock down walls. I'm just going to throw that out. Corey from Synthetic, I didn't know there was a guy like you here in Milwaukee. You had me at Explorer from Nat Geo. And 7 Summits and 7 Rivers are outdoor brands, so I'm a huge fan. Amazing what you've done. I'll move on to Nori from Code Baby. As an entrepreneur, the word that struck me there was perseverance, not letting go. I think it's critically important for all of us to look at that every day. I had the same thing. I was on one software platform, Jive Software. They failed in the market. I had to move all of my cheese, I said it, over to Salesforce. We were not really an integrator or a consultancy. Everyone thinks that we're a consultancy on Salesforce. We did some of that. We built a lot of products. We were the largest product Lightning Exchange provider, componentry, on that exchange, and that's what attracts companies like IBM, intellectual property. So that was kind of cool, but it's perseverance. And then Roy, just the comment you made about support at home struck me. My wife blindly believed in what I was doing. I started my first company at the most vulnerable point in her life. We were having our first child together, and I won't even tell you the sit down I had with my father-in-law telling me to get a effing job. When I quit my job to go do this. So Maggie is amazing. She couldn't be here today because she's picking up our boys from school right now, and we couldn't find someone to do that. And then Britt, just remarkable, ingenious. Thank you for ignoring glass ceilings and driving that kind of a business here. I hope we see more people like you at the table in the coming years. And I'm talking about as a female CEO leader, we need more of it in Milwaukee. Amazing. So I want to thank all of you. And now let's talk about me. So what is 7? Let me just say 7 Summits. Every time new technology shows up, there's opportunities, there's market shifts, and you can go create new businesses. So I'm sitting here in 2009, and Facebook comes out, and I had just seen this article talking about how every time the media shifts, these new companies show up. We saw Web 1.0, and then when everything went interactive web, big companies like Digitas and Razorfish showed up, went out for huge multiples to Publicis, $500 million. So part of it is seeing that stuff and saying, wow, the media just shifted again. It's social. And had the idea that all of these, I was at Global Manpower, all these millennials are going to end up in businesses expecting to work like this in their companies, and quit my job, took a meager $140,000, and said we're going to go start a business around this. Jive knew who I was. I had some colleagues there, and we basically started building online communities for business. So I get to stand up here now in the middle of AI and the notion that enterprises are going to become augmented enterprises, and can say that I've been working on the augmented enterprise since 2009, because we were crowdsourcing people, customers, and partners to help augment businesses. And so that went really well. And IBM bought the company, and I've been running around for 2 years from, as you do when you get to sell your company IBM, to the Arctic Circle. I've been down the Andes Mountains. It's been pretty cool. And I finally got back and realized, look, I got these 2 young boys. They're now 14 and 17, so they're not so young, but I still am much needed. I can't just run all over the world. And I had this just moment, and in the questionnaire it asked, hey, what is a eureka moment, or what is something big that happened, where I finally decided, I'd left IBM for a while, didn't want anybody bothering me, so I finally flipped my LinkedIn and took a picture of Denali, one of the 7 summits, put it up there and said, hey, I've transitioned. And the outpouring was unbelievable from my employees, because culture is critical, which I love that we talked about that today. And then some of my seed round investors came up, and some others, because some of my employees, 7 summits created 11 multimillionaires, because I shared equity with my top employees. And they're all like, if you do something again, we're all in. So I ran some math, and I thought, I'm going to think about this. A couple months go by, ChatGPT shows up, and I'm like, shit. I'm gonna have to go do something. And my wife's like, you are out of your mind. And my father-in-law's like, yeah, just let him go do it. And by the way, my father-in-law later on was back there telling me to quit, stop, shut this down. And then later he's like, can I get in on this thing? And so some amazing stories we'll have. So, Seven Rivers, again, it's much easier to start a company bootstrapped as a services play. Because as soon as I'm at a customer, I'm invoicing revenue and I have something I can collect. But we are, believe me, doing things we did not do at 7 Summits with productization of these assets in AI in business. We're building an engine to allow other people to do some of the stuff I heard about today with AI and machine learning. I was just up at a really large manufacturer now, and a lot of C-level executives kind of feel like, hey, I'm hearing about AI, and isn't that for consumers? Isn't ChatGPT stuff people are playing with? And so to go up there with an avatar and let them talk to them about what a GPT built on their company with all their competitors that finds a gap in the market that they could go productize in the opening meeting is pretty amazing. And so it took one of my friends that texted me the day when he finally realized he saw this award announcement, so he gets the word out, and said, hey, I remember when you made your first $300,000 month back in 2012, 3 years into 7 Summits, and I got to tell them we're already past that in this company, which launched in August. So we are building an augmented business from the ground up. I've created this cool avatar called Marco. Some of you get to see it, the AI of innovation, AI as a tool for innovation. And Marcos has been trained in my business. He has my manifesto. Who's Marcos, by the way? He's my guide dog in Argentina. Because I got tired of saying I'm using GPT and some fine-tuned models from Hugging Face and a bunch of other code we wrote. It's a mouthful, so I just decided to name it Marcos. Marcos has given me his visage. He's a very handsome man. And the avatar's out. The avatar is out. I got that for an iPhone and a couple of trips to Costa Rica. He's going to take this next winter in Argentina. And so Marcos is pretty cool, and I unveiled him at the summit. He kind of addressed the crowd. I can talk to him. He is building dossiers on large Fortune companies, scraping all of their 10K reports, stock history, meaning all of their analyst meetings, all their job boards, and it's actually using my manifesto and telling me who's buying what I sell, how do I get in front of them, and telling me the 5 ideas I should do in the launch meeting. It's an amazing world that has shifted around us in 1 year. And so, I'm humbled to be up here getting an award. I'm very excited that Milwaukee can sit here and build these kind of things because it's leveled to the playing field with the rest of the country. Don't go to Silicon Valley. I'm not going. I mean, we can do it all right here. And that's the exciting part. So, I'm grateful, but I also feel we all have a responsibility to think about what we're doing for our talent base and the companies right here as a showcase for the rest of the country. And this AI Innovation Center that the Tech Coalition is looking at, we all need to get behind that. So I love the call outs to focus on the students and find their mentors. We all as tech leaders need to put money back in. And I told Kathy last week, personally writing a check right now to the AI Innovation Center to make Milwaukee able to generate more of this kind of activity than ever before. Thank you, everybody.